right? All right,
Okay.
everybody, one and all, welcome to the Off the Rail Sports Podcast. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, I really appreciate it. We're here with the superstar of superstars, Brian. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. And let me just say, you know what? Hit the subscribe button even if you don't like us.
Okay. Yeah, we're at that point. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, my friend. We're gonna get there. How was your weekend?
A little cold and rainy, kind of. It was a little
Yeah,
weird for May, but got some stuff done around the house. Had some baseball going on the TV. Kids came over. Grandson was over, so
that's a
yeah,
good weekend,
not too bad.
and the house survived. That's good.
House, oh
That's
yeah, house is strong, man. It's built on rock. It's built on
it.
rock, not sand.
All right. So you got any takeaways from the weekend that was MLB?
Yeah. So, didn't I tell you a couple weeks ago we should have traded Tristan Costas before it was too late?
Yes.
I mean,
I
yeah, you never want to see somebody get hurt, but yeah, it's just the same old with this guy, man. He's never played a full season. He's never lived up to the hype or the potential when he has played. And now he's going to be out at least a year. They say a full 12 months, maybe more, for the recovery from this. So it's time to find a new first baseman permanently.
well, obviously it's a position you can feel a little easier than most. Um, he had a ruptured patella tendon running to first. Um, you know, he just seems to have the injury bug. Some guys do. I think he's a solid player, but obviously, like you always say, results speak for themselves, right? If you're not on the field, if you're not producing, doesn't matter about potential, right?
Well, that's true, but I think there's some guys too show tremendous potential, and they might be great double A and triple A players, but that might be their ceiling.
Right.
And you know what? Hey, that's the way it is, and good for them. They've got a hell of a lot of skill
Oh,
to be
absolutely.
a good triple A player.
Top
But they're
1,500 in the world.
exactly. And some guys, that's just where they tap out, and that's their ceiling. And like I said, he's had a few years to try to work his way up there, and he's never really been a legit, he got it done guy. All the
Correct.
times he has been on the field, he's always been, well, he's just got to get it around. He'll come around. He just needs a little more experience. He's had plenty of experience in the big leagues, and I just think he's a triple A player. So that's my takeaway on Tristan Casas.
All right. Well, obviously the Red Sox. Well, maybe this is it. The thing is that might be his last play in the MLB. I mean, you have to be realistic about what it is. It's a hard injury to come back from. I I personally like the guy, but at the end of the day, whether you like somebody or not, they got to produce on the field. It's a competitive league, right?
That
Nobody's
is
giving
true.
you anything, right? All right.
Yeah.
let's uh let's talk about the Red Sox for a second. Uh Cody Clemens hit a big two-run bomb. You were kind enough to send me that. I did a little research, and he actually now has as many hits at Fenway as his dad did. His dad got a
Ah,
single in 1995 off Norm Charlton, and
really?
yes, and he pitched a 129 pitch complete game, and they pulled the DH. The DH got hurt, so they put Clemens in that spot, and he got a hit in the eighth inning. God
Nice.
bless. Yeah, right. Good luck with that. Well, I got to tell you, with the Roger Clemens, he let's go with this. Who's the
Okay.
greatest pitcher for the Red Sox? I know. Take a breath. Take another sip of that coffee. It's a big one.
You're talking only for the Red Sox, so the stuff they did outside the Red Sox does not count.
Correct.
I'm going to say it's Pedro still. which you might have been thinking I might go Clemens,
I
I'm
did.
still going to go with Pedro
Yeah, I do too.
because I
You
think
know,
his level of dominance was just a little bit above what Clemens was with his level of dominance.
well, I, I'm going to say Clemens' level of dominance was a little better than Pedro's. The thing was, he was the first pitcher we ever had in our organization. I mean, the guy who was, you came in and the other team was effing scared, right? He had
Didn't he
that.
get that from Oil Can Boyd?
Louis Tion? Yeah, exactly, right? But Pedro had, I think, a shorter dominant run, but but it was in the steroid era. It was in the heart of every guy was
Yeah.
Jose Canseco, right? And
Yes.
that 6 year run from 95 to 001 was truly, I think, the greatest run I've ever seen with a pitcher. And I'm going to even include Koufax. Koufax had the higher mound, whatever.
Yeah.
Pedro was, I mean, that guy was just scary on scary. I do say that, and I'm going to be full disclosure. I didn't like the way it ended with Clemens, and I think a lot of Red Sox have a sour taste in their mouth, especially with the whole Yankee thing. Well, I mean,
Well,
let's talk what it
I
is, right? If
yeah, I
Pedro
get
would
it.
have went to the Yankees, if Pedro would have went to the Yankees instead of the Mets, we go, you know what? F that dude too. Where's John
Well,
Lester?
okay. I don't I don't have any ill feelings towards Clemens because you got to remember, uh, yeah, he played for the Yankees, but the Red Sox traded him to the Blue Jays. So it's
Yes,
not like he contract ended and he said, I'm out of here and I'm immediately going to your rival.
right,
It wasn't one of those situations. The Red Sox traded him away within the division, which, they always talk about, oh, you can't trade within your division.
correct.
He went to Toronto, won a couple of Cy Youngs, and then he got sent over to the Yankees. So I've never had any. He's always been probably my favorite MLB pitcher ever, Roger Clemens.
Wow,
Yep.
wow.
I was always I'll say during his heyday, I was always the guy that would say he's better than Randy Johnson because
Yeah,
it was the
I
two of them. It was the
yes,
two of them,
absolutely. That's a
and I
great
was always
comparison.
the Clemens guy. I was
Yeah,
always the Clemens guy. Uh,
right.
but whatever. But yeah, I think I would say Pedro. I think was a little bit better. If I had to rate which one was number one on Red
Absolutely,
Sox history, I'd say
absolutely.
Pedro.
Yeah. All right, let's go through. Let's go through some things that happened in the last week and a half in baseball. I'm going to give you a list of the teams that are hot in baseball. If you want to riff on anything, you just jump in, my friend. Detroit 7-3 in their last 10. It does help when you go into Anaheim to play. Kansas City is literally, I think, the most underrated team right now in baseball. 8-2 in the last 10. Seattle 8-2. Athletics and Dodgers both 7-3. Got anything to add there, brother?
No, you're ripping off some stats, and they're
Okay.
sounding pretty legit.
Well,
So,
I got to tell you something. Seattle is hitting a niche right now, but I still don't believe in that team. I don't think they still have enough
no.
hitting. They have great pitching. And it's like you said, and I've talked about it a lot of times at night that when the Braves were literally at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, you said, hey, man, if this is the middle of summer, we just blink and let it go through. You know, and I think that a lot of teams, I think now the honeymoon of the big league season is over. We're starting to get into the day to day drudgery of it. I understand June and July is going to be a lot different. But with that said, let's go some more statistics. Colorado 2-8, Pittsburgh 2-8, Angels 2-8 in the last 10. And the one that really hurts me here is the Pirates. I thought they had such potential coming into this season. They didn't spend any money in free agency, less than $19 million, which is honestly what you are already carrying in crypto in your pocket right now. and they can't get any hitters. McCutchen isn't the answer. Christ's sake. Yeah.
That O'Neal Cruz hits the ball pretty hard though.
Yeah, it sure does. Greg.
I actually watched the Pirates twice this weekend.
Wow, you
They're not
are
good.
you okay? Yeah.
They're not good.
Was this
They're not good.
was this some type of court order thing that you had to do to
No,
pay off for probation or?
I don't just watch the Red Sox.
Well, you got to learn.
I try to tune into some other games and see what else is happening out there so that when you ask me questions, I have
Yep.
some kind of an inkling of what I'm talking about.
Well, you are the best analyst in baseball, whether it's here or on the internet. I'm going to give you some numbers here. You're going to enjoy. Let's talk about the NL Central. The Cubs are 21-14. Cincinnati is 18-17. And where I'm going with this is the Cubs' magic number for everybody out there is 125. I just want everybody out there to know, right?
The
Mets,
Cubs are better than we thought.
they are. But
They are.
Amanga, one of their stud starting pitchers, is on the DL, and we don't know where that exactly goes. I watched the Angels this weekend. I didn't really hear a lot about Mike Trout. I'm not going to dig down on it too much. I hope he does come back, but it does seem like the Angels are like Rome and the Vatican when the Pope dies. There is more secrecy there than an NHL club or who's going to be in the conclave. I mean, they're not talking
Well,
anything about it.
I mean, what they told us, whether they told us the whole truth or just partial, but bone bruise, he's going to have to rest it for a few days.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so maybe
listen,
that's all it is. So,
yeah.
I mean, be real though. I mean, is that so Mike Trout's hurt again? If you're the Angels broadcast team, is that all you're going to talk about? I mean,
No, you got to
they
move
got they,
on.
they got to talk about the guys they got to try to generate some interest in them so people will come out to the yard.
Yeah, going
So,
to be a big yard. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll tell you what, the Tigers are, we expected them to be good. I didn't think we expected them to be as good as they are. Because they made the playoffs last year, had a little bit of a run. They got Skubal, who's a great starting pitcher. But I think, at least for me, Kansas City was supposed to be the team that stepped up and took over this division.
Yeah,
And they're playing well now. They got this little nice streak going.
correct.
But Detroit being on top of that division is a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah, the rest of their starting pitching is doing real well. The Dodgers have the best home record in baseball at 15-3. The Mets and the Tigers have the second best at 13-3. I don't think most people would expect the Tigers to be that formidable at home. Hinch seems to be getting the job done there.
Yes, sir. And they didn't really make any standout acquisitions in the offseason either. But
No,
they took last season's team, and they've just taken the next step forward in their growth and development, which is a lot of young guys.
well, obviously you forgot the blockbuster free agent signing of Gilbert Torres. Um, this just in, the Mets magic number is 125 too for all you fans out there.
All right.
Hey, I'm just giving you numbers, okay? You're not going to hear
Yeah.
that in any other podcast today.
Nobody can read the standings like our guy JP.
Oh man, I tell you what though, the Dodgers seem to be getting it turned around on the road. They
Yeah,
won
they
6
won
or
this.
7.
They had a nice streak.
They
Atlanta
did.
Atlanta is creeping very close to 500 though. They are inching their way back, and Philly is not running away with that division like we maybe thought. The Mets
Yeah.
are doing well, but how long are we going to have? Are the Mets going to be for real?
Well, it comes down to their pitching staff, right? If you go with the numbers, their starting staff has got the best numbers in baseball by quite a bit. In which, I didn't think their starters were going to have ERAs in the 2.5s. I mean, that's been really the big difference. Juan Soto hasn't really clicked like we thought he would. I mean, it's a long season. We're not going to, not everybody's like Devers who can turn it around on a dime. But I did see him strike out a couple times this weekend. That was nice. I was glad to see he's still good. But the Mets. I think the Mets are having a season that so far anything can happen. But I think I'm pretty impressed with the way their starting staff is really just playing. That's just it.
Yeah. So,
Uh, Tell me,
is your belief still that Ohtani is the best player in the MLB?
of course,
Okay.
there is no doubt. And
Okay.
and when his career is over, he's going to go down as one of the three best players in the history of baseball.
Okay.
Okay, is that
I
our?
was just I was just
Yeah.
checking because Aaron Judge is way ahead of him, I think, or at least a head above him, if not head and shoulders.
Okay, Brian, I
Yeah.
want you to pull the car over because obviously you're not feeling well. This
Okay.
might be the sign of a stroke. This might
Okay.
be the sign of some CTE that's been undiagnosed from a CrossFit accident that you were unaware of. Oh, look at him. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. I like it. Aaron Judge is okay, let me ask you this.
Pull up
Is
his
Aaron
numbers and read them.
Let's go to Aaron Judge. Let's get to
Let's go to Aaron
let's
Judge.
yeah, let's
Don't
get the
forget, Aaron Judge, while not great, he does play defense. He's not
Oh
just a
yeah.
DH.
Oh
He's not
yeah.
just a DH.
He's not just a pretty face. Yeah, I know.
What do
I
you got?
know.
What do you got?
Give me a second, kid. Damn, man, I should have had this all. I see he's batting 429.
That's not
I'm
too
trying.
bad.
It's okay. I mean, I guess. Okay, let's get to it. Hey, he's from Linden, California.
This
Okay,
shows you that our show is truly live and we don't talk about what we're going to talk
you
about,
got
by the
that
way.
right. That's how you get the good stuff. He is hitting 433, 8 home runs, 18 RBIs, OBP of 513. Last 7 days, the guy's had 24 at bats, 12 hits, hitting 500. I mean, look, the guy's on a roll. I'm not going to say anything. I mean, look, he is. Let me ask you this. 3 weeks ago, you were telling me Mookie Betts was the best player in baseball.
No, I said he was the best player on the Dodgers.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously, then he's the best player in baseball because Ohtani's on the Dodgers. Brian, you're not thinking. Brian, one goes with the other, right? I
I'm
mean,
just
obviously,
there's something here that really bugs me and rubs me the wrong way, and it might come across that I'm just down on Ohtani. The dude's awesome. The
all
dude
right.
is awesome.
Open up, Brian. Open up.
But this whole thing about him being a two-way player, I just have never got that. And the reason is every player in the MLB is a two-way player. They all
Oh
play
my God.
defense. They
Oh my
all play
God.
offense, except for the DH. And now, because there's a DH in both leagues, all pitchers. So he's the rare one that will pitch and hit, but he's not the only two-way player. Every player plays defense and bats.
Okay. First of all, obviously, you've never seen Rafael Devers at third base. He is a one-way player. Okay. He may have, he may be out there, but that's okay. Look, Brian, you are, and I'm not saying this as part of our little baseball therapy session. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to sleep with you or some other get whatever. You are the smartest guy I know about baseball. I'm not just saying it. I know a lot of people in baseball, but you are whacked. You are effing crazy on this. Otani is just an animal we haven't seen. When he is pitching, he's a top 10 pitcher in baseball, and he's a top five hitter in baseball. Brian, don't snap your neck back like that, young man. Don't do it. I
He
told
is
you.
not. He is not a top 10 pitcher.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
I don't even.
I'll
I have. Go ahead.
I'll let you take Otani, and that'll be awesome. And
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Otani Club here. I got to tell
you
you
know,
something.
you know who's going to come up and be a great pitcher. He's working on it right now. He's going to get a gig. Joey Gallo.
Oh God. Oh God. Yes. Yes. You
That
know,
was a joke.
I know.
But he is
Do you,
trying to become a pitcher.
well,
He's the
do
next
you,
Rick Ankiel.
yes, that's who I was going to say, Rick Ankiel. And, you know, if they would have gave Rick Ankiel a shot in the beginning of his career instead of when he was washed up, man, you don't know what could have happened. That guy was something else. I will say this, and we're gonna adjourn the podcast.
Okay.
You are just one of the coolest people I've ever met, but you are a son of a bitch because you make me defend a Dodger. You make me defend Ohtani, and I hate being in that corner. Damn
Hey,
you to
no,
hell.
you love
Damn you
it.
to hell.
You've been waving that flag for 2 years.
Oh, I appreciate the guy for what he is. I mean, you know, look, I didn't
So
like
do
Derek
I.
Jeter. I didn't like
You,
Derek Jeter, but I understood what he was.
yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate Ohtani for what he is. He's an outstanding DH, and every once in a while, he's a slightly above average pitcher.
Oh God! Obviously, you don't remember yours with the Angels because the Angels literally are picking guys off the street at Home Depot to fill 5 innings. You know? Okay,
Right.
whatever.
Well,
Huh?
that's why his pitching looked so great with the Angels because you compared it to the rest of the staff. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. All right. That's it for Off the Rails. Whether you like us or not, hit that like and subscribe. Hit
Just
the
subscribe.
notification. Yeah, just
You don't have to like
subscribe.
us.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, if you want, leave some comments. Tell me how you feel about Ohtani. It means something.
Yeah. And
All
Aaron
right.
Judge is better.
Oh, God. Quit drinking this early in the morning, my friend. All right. That's it for Off the Rails. We're over and out.